Dodgers trade talks are escalating as an MLB insider just revealed an insane three-team trade that has the Dodgers landing exactly what they want, a versatile outfielder for a relatively cheap price. We talk about the details of this trade right here on Dodgers Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews, and I appreciate you hanging out with me and tuning into the show. So, the Dodgers obviously looking to improve their team in any way possible, but it seems though the outfield is less than likely going to be going after Kyle Tucker. Cody Bellinger is still an option, but they want a more short-term / cheaper, let's say, fix to their outfield problems. And so, let's forget about the free agents, forget about those small names they could go out there and get. Trent Grisham accepted his qualifying offer from the Yankees, so it looks like he's going to be staying there, and it kind of limits your options in the outfield. However, that's kind of where we start our progress here today, because Anthony Castrovince of MLB.com released this article on Thanksgiving titling 7 Ridiculous Trades We'd Like to See. Now, in this article, he goes through, of course, 7 ridiculous trades. But throughout all of them, he states why, first of all, we want to see them, and second of all, why he thinks every single one of the parties in each of these trades would be open / want to make this deal. That's where we get to the Dodgers part of this article, as he labeled his number 4 trade as what we would like to see as, call it a mini Mookie trade. Now, what exactly does he mean by this? Well, of course, that means it involves the Boston Red Sox, because that's where Mookie Betts came from in what we would call Mookie Betts' trade, first Mookie Betts trade, whatever you want to do. What exactly are the details of this trade? Well, that's what I'm going to show you right here. The Dodgers, in this deal, 3-team, by the way, would receive outfielder Jarren Duran from the Boston Red Sox. Now, I mentioned this is a 3-team trade, so the Red Sox also involved in this deal. They don't get a Dodgers prospect, a Dodgers player. They get a right-handed pitcher from the Minnesota Twins in, I would say, second-tier ace caliber Joe Ryan. In return, the Twins would get Zaire Hope, the Dodgers' number 2 prospect, Jackson Ferris, the Dodgers' number 6 prospect, and Chase Harlan, the Dodgers' number 18 prospect, alongside Marcus Phillips, a right-handed pitcher out of Boston system. That is the Red Sox' 11th ranked prospect. Now, first glance, I would say the Dodgers are 100% giving up more for this trade than what the Red Sox are giving up. And I would argue that the Red Sox are also maybe getting a better caliber player. And I love Jarren Duran. I want him on the Dodgers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and say that Jarren Duran is not good. I don't want him. I just think that in terms of this deal, they're getting the better end of the stick. But does that mean the Dodgers are getting a bad deal? No, it's not a bad deal. I think that in a lot of ways, what the Dodgers' goal is to do a three-peat. And so in that aspect, we go out, we look, and we see and say, okay, well, the Dodgers want to get that three-peat title. And Jarren Duran, who is a California kid, a guy who played at Long Beach State, like he's really close to Los Angeles throughout pretty much all of his life. And now we sit here and say, well, this could be a very good deal for the Dodgers for a multitude of different reasons, but we have to talk about it from the Dodgers' logistical side of why Jarren Duran makes sense, because again, if you go back in this trade, you're giving up your number 2 prospect, your number 6 prospect, and your number 18 prospect, and in return, you're getting Jarren Duran, whereas the Red Sox are giving up Jarren Duran and Marcus Phillips and getting Joe Ryan. So let's talk about Jarren Duran here and really break down why I believe he actually is a very good target for the Boston Red Sox. And the first thing that I see with him is just his versatility. The stats can tell you a lot, but he plays a very good center field, played left field this year, and I'm not going to say he looked bad, but whenever there's a monster in left field like there is in Fenway Park, I don't know that there's a valuable way to judge him. He was also getting Gold Glove votes last year in center field, and at left field, and not as good of a place, or rather a relatively easier place to play in center field, and yet he didn't do as well. But 332 on base, 159 hits, 24 stolen bags, 620 on, 620 in the ABs. Did strike out a lot more than the prior year, 169 strikeouts. But I think it is tough to look at Jarren Duran because from the Red Sox perspective, he took a dip. But in a lot of other people's perspective, he's still a very good player. In fact, if you remember, Jarren Duran was actually the MVP of the All-Star in last season in Texas. Took Hunter Green deep, ended up being the game-winning home run for the American League, and won the MVP, the diamond bat, whatever you want to call that thing, clear bat. He just kind of fits the Dodgers mantra, I think is the best way to put that. And again, from a three-team purposes, you do have to think, okay, well, we're trading something. The Twins are trading something. Why do the Red Sox really want Joe Ryan? They did just make the trade for Sonny Gray. However, it does seem that they want to, because in the MLB trade deadline, John Morosi for about 2 minutes had a tweet out there that the Red Sox had traded for Joe Ryan. There were reports going all around that the Red Sox GM Craig Breslow was going to go out and make this move. Ended up being a fake. It did not happen. Morosi was wrong. Shocker. But either way, this is a very intriguing trade to me. So I want to go further into the discussion, but I want to ask you the question. Looking at this trade, again, you get Jarren Duran, Red Sox get Joe Ryan. You're giving up your number 2, your number 6, and your number 18 prospects for Jarren. Would you accept this trade? And I'm curious for your opinion. If you would take this trade, then I want you to type a little T for trade in the comment section for me. If you're saying, no, I'm not doing this, I'm letting it go, I think this is a bad move, we're giving up way too much, or the Red Sox are not giving up enough, then I want you to type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm taking this trade. I do think, again, you're paying a little bit more than the Red Sox, and I would probably ask the Red Sox to throw an extra prospect in there instead of maybe going back and looking this, trying to keep Chase Harlan, or if you want to play a little bit hardball, trying to keep Jackson Ferris. I think to make this deal, Zaire Hope has to be included, given the Red Sox giving up just their number 11 prospect. But again, if they can include that, maybe it boosts it up. Let's see what they had to say on the article, though. Anthony Castrovince of MLB.com saying this, quote, "We send Duran to the Dodgers, who might stop short of paying top dollar for Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger, but could surely stand to shore up their outfield with someone of the 29-year-old Duran's power-speed combo caliber." End quote. And he's right. When you look at the Savant page here of Jarren Duran, he is that power speed guy. A great fielder, great speed. His average exit velo is good. His bat speed is great. But there was a lot of blue on this thing. Now, his values up top are in the high reds, because ultimately the best thing, at least for Jarren Duran and the purposes of him coming to the Dodgers, he's versatile, and his value can be added to a large part of this. I mean, yes, he was the Red Sox leadoff hitter 2 years ago, but this year he didn't play a lot of games, or he played a lot of games as leadoff hole, but he didn't play all of them. He could easily bat, back part of the lineup, maybe put him 6 or 7, and kind of get a extra jump start to your lineup, in which sometimes the Dodgers were missing in this past season. Now, again, I told you he took a little bit of a dive from last season, and that is true, because if you look at 2025 and the year prior, the average was up, the OBP was up, the slugging, the OPS, they were all up in 2024 as compared to 2025. But in 2023, he was injured and on pace for a lot of the stuff he did in 2025 with doubles, triples, the speed, the power. It's there, and you put him in the right situation, especially as a Cali boy, get him back to LA. I think that spells for a lot of success. Now, the final reason I want to pull up here as to why this trade makes sense, and a bigger reason why Jarren Duran is such a good aspect of this team, is because you're not going to rely on him fully to make this squad better. You have Alex Call, who you acquired in the trade deadline this season, and he's going to be batting righty. You got Jarren Duran as a lefty. You can somewhat combo them, and we like Andy Pages. He had a great season, but gosh, was that postseason terrible. And if Jarren wants to play center field again, you can put him there and give Pages the night off and have Alex Call play in left field. If you want to say you want to platoon these guys, Alex Call, Jarren Duran, maybe give Teoscar Hernández a night off, you can do that. It gives you 4 different outfielders that you can play, not to mention a guy in the minor leagues, Ryan Ward, who you can trust and kind of maybe bring up and see what his role could be on this team as well. So I like the idea of this. Jarren Duran also did sign a relatively cheap contract, most recently with the Boston Red Sox, to avoid arbitration. It's a very good trade. I think that I would try and maybe play a little hardball, as in maybe making the Red Sox give up an extra prospect instead of you giving up 3 prospects and then giving up 1 for what they're getting as, I'm not going to say a higher caliber than Jarren Duran, but definitely a guy that they probably want more than the Dodgers want Duran in some aspects, but that's just my 2 cents. So let me know your thoughts on this trade, on this aspect of Jarren Duran as a guy you'd like. Obviously a Cali boy, if anybody, knows him from his Long Beach State days. He played second base there, so a little different. But either way, I am curious for your thoughts, and get those in the comment section. We appreciate you. Make sure you continue to subscribe and watch. We're going to have shorts, live streams, a bunch of stuff coming up here on Dodgers Digest. We appreciate you. See you next time here on the show. Peace out, everybody.